Today on the Turnbuckle Sessions, we are honored to have Vince Russo. Vince, how you doing today?
I am doing all right, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Big, long-time fan of yours, and it's going to be a fun one. So you started off as editor in WWF Magazine. Did you know at that time, were you looking to move up to become head writer, or?
Not at all, bro. Bro, the entire TV production department wasn't even on my radar, bro. I went to school for journalism, and I wanted to be a writer. So absolutely not, bro. As editor of the WWE magazine at the time, and then we started the Raw magazine, I was 1000% content, bro. That's what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's crazy. So how did that come about then?
Well, bro, I'll tell you how it became about. To be honest with you, I was friends with Bruce Pritchard, and Bruce Pritchard kind of oversaw the magazine and had a report to Vince McMahon. So Bruce and I would spend a lot of time together, have a lot of conversations together. We got to know each other. And Bruce really started taking me on some of the vignette shoots, like, you know, if it was Taker at a graveyard and stuff like that. Bruce started taking me along, and I started, you know, watching and learning and listening, but still like not really wanting to do that. I just thought it was something interesting. But then, you know, what happened was they needed somebody, a writer, to write all the house show promos. So like, you know, this is Sean Waltman and I'll be in Madison Square Garden and blah, blah, blah. So they actually needed a writer to write them. So, you know, they asked me to do it. I wrote those. I wrote those for everybody. Then I would produce them doing those. And then like the next step would be like Vince had this Goldust character, which he really wasn't really sure what it was. So he gave me the assignment of Goldust. So then I started writing for that one character. Then, you know, bro, Sean was champion at the time. Vince had me starting to write for Sean. So like I was really kind of going along within the system. And then, bro, it just got to a point where the television ratings got so bad. I had made it clear at that point that I thought the product was horrible. And I made it clear. And I kept saying at that point, I think I could help you in other ways. And then, you know, I think the product basically just hit rock bottom. And that's when, you know, I was given a chance.
So what was it like then when the product, I agree with you, because I've been watching since, you know, the mid 80s or early 80s. I've been a WWF fan. I'm 46 years old. So I've been around since the golden era. I've got to, you know, even back then, right before the Attitude Era starting, I remember as a fan, and you grew up a fan too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just thinking, wow, man, they need to bring more real life stories into this. They need to make it interesting again. This is terrible.
Yep.
And so you pitched it to them. And when about did you start to be the head writer? Was it when WCW started beating them in the ratings?
Well, I didn't really pitch anything to them. I just made it clear to Vince McMahon that I could do more. And I was very vocal about thinking the product was not very, very, very good at that time. And like I said, bro, it got to a point where the ratings just got so low that I honestly feel like Vince had nothing to lose. Like he had like, and almost like he knew it wasn't working, you know, the old system in the old way. I don't think he really knew what to do next. And, you know, there I was, and he had nothing to lose. So he just kind of rolled the dice and went with me.
Wow, and thankfully, because look at the one of the best eras of wrestling in the history. It was just amazing. You know, looking back at it now, I go back and still watch it, and it's like, wow, this is when wrestling was great.
Yeah.
So what would have, you know, we hear all those rumors today, and I don't know what's true from dirt sheets and not, but what Vince is like and rewriting shows. What was it like being in a creative meeting with him back then? Was he opening to listening, or?
Bro, people have no idea how it worked. And I've said it a million times, but they want to believe their version of how this worked. It was a very, 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 very different time, bro. For a long while, it was just me and Vince. It was just me and Vince for a while. So I would meet with Vince. I would pitch an entire show to Vince from seg one all the way through the entire show, and I would go through the show with him one by one. Okay, it was complete. And then later on, when we brought Ed in as my writing partner, me and Ed would go through that exercise. So Ed and I would lay out the entire show. And then we would go to Vince's house and we would pitch him the entire show. What Vince would do, bro, is since he had the entire show in front of him, bro, there were never, ever any big changes, rewrites. There was Vince, there was Vince. He would call it like his, nuances. Like he would punch things up a little bit, or he would add something here and add something there. And bro, listen, I'm the first one to say this, and I said this a million times. Every time he added something, he made the show better. But it was never an overhaul or a rewrite or a changing the main event or a changing an angle. It was literally Vince working within our show and taking our show and, knocking it up and making it the best that it could be. Bro, that's how it worked for years and years and years. And that's why the show was successful, because it was very, very simple. That was the system.
And the wrestlers at that time, they had input on their promos. They weren't handed scripts.
No, bro, this is, bro, we would go to Raw on Monday. We would start talking about the show on Tuesday, probably go to Vince's on Wednesday. Bro, by Thursday, we were sending the talent the show. The talent would have the show by Thursday. So I would say, Rock, you got anything to say? Any input? Steve, Taker, whatever. Then usually on Friday, yeah, Vince, we looked where everything's cool. What if we did this, or what if we added that? Bro, when we got to that building, we knew the show like the back of our hands, and nothing changed. So we worked on that show from Tuesday, and every day, it was very regimented. We did certain things every day. When we got to that building, that was the show, and it never changed, bro.
Wow. What a difference from what you hear goes on today.
Well, bro, I remember when I went back, I almost went back in 2002, and Vince brought me in the writer's room. And bro, there's 20 people in this writer's room, and I was shocked. Like, how did we go from 2 people to this? And I remember Vince telling me, bro, he said to me, Vince, you got to understand, it's not the same anymore. We're publicly traded, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Vince, I get all that, but it's not working. Like what you're doing. And bro, I told him this in 2002. I said, this is not working. You cannot have these many writers. And if you look at 2002 to 2021, you will see a decline year after year. The structure and the system is absolutely broken, bro. They made this thing so much more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. Growing up, a guy who loved WWE and, being a fanboy, it's to the point now where this show is just, especially Raw, is just unwatchable. It doesn't even resemble a wrestling show anymore. But when you're not allowing guys to have input into what they say and they're memorizing the script, you're actors. Wrestlers, you connect with them more when they're putting their own belief into it. And that's just what's killing it. Let me ask you a question now. This is one thing I've always wondered. I'd love to get your take on this. When Stone Cold wins the King of the Ring and he cuts that awesome promo, if Triple H doesn't get punished, do you think we ever see this version of Stone Cold? Was it still going to happen?
I think so, bro, because, bro, Stone Cold, again, Vince the editor, Vince's directions to me in writing for Stone Cold was, this is the ringmaster, Steve Austin, and he's never to say a word. Ted DiBiase is always to do the talking for, and bro, every week Steve was like, Vince, you got to create an opening for me. You got to create a spot where I could talk every week nonstop. So there is no doubt in my mind, bro, the cream would have rose to the top. One way or another, we were going to see Stone Cold Steve Austin without a doubt.
That's, I mean, it's good to know. I always like so much stuff happened because of,
Yeah.
the everything of revolving around there. But it worked out. It was a perfect storm for that time. But so now, so you currently, obviously you keep up with all the products. If you listen to your podcasts,
I don't, bro. I swear
uh,
to you, I turned 60 in January. And I said, bro, I'm on my last, I'm on my last run. I am not going to waste a minute of my day watching wrestling. I watch Raw, bro, because I get paid to watch Raw. That is the only reason, bro. I do some consulting work, and I can't say with who, but I also do a show with Sportskeeda, and they pay me very well. We review Raw right after the show. That's it. I do not watch any other wrestling product. I have zero interest, bro.
wow, is it just burnt out from the way it is now?
No, it just sucks. I'm not gonna wait, bro. I wouldn't waste my time watching a bad program, whether it was a sitcom or an action. I would turn the channel. So I am not gonna sit in front of a bad television show. I'm just not gonna do it.
I mean, I can't say I blame you. For some reason, I still turn into Raw last night, and I'm sitting there wondering, why did I watch this?
Yeah,
It's
no,
you know,
absolutely.
he keeps signing all these billion-dollar deals, and I don't think he realize. I mean, I don't think he cares. Like, all this news. He releases Bray Wyatt. He makes a statement on Sunday about giving AEW more talent. Or no, that was Friday. And on a Saturday, Bray Wyatt is released. One of the top 5 merchandise sellers in that company. Why was it done on a Saturday? What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
Was it done officially on a Saturday or did it leak on a Saturday?
I mean, that's a good question. Or was it, hey, we can't be questioned on a Saturday. Everybody's off.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, bro. Bro, listen, I'll be honest with you, man. There was a long time where I would really try to figure out why they're doing. I gave up on that. I have no clue. I really think, bro, and I don't say this in a mean-spirited way, bro. I think, I don't, Vince McMahon is getting older. I don't know if there's beginning stages of dementia. I don't know. All I know is what I watch on Monday nights is terrible and doesn't make any sense. That's all I know.
Yeah. So let's go back a little. If they don't start losing to Nitro in the ratings, do you think Vince ever hands you the ball to try and change things up, or do you think he
No,
actually thought what was going on before then was good?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If Eric and NWO did not start kicking his tail, he would have went on with business as usual, just like he's doing now. It would have been the same exact thing.
Do you fully believe that he thinks AEW is not competition?
Yeah. Yeah.
He really doesn't. Wow. What
Bro,
if they
he didn't think WCW was competition. I'm telling you, he prior to, well, even when they took us over, he had no idea what was going on at WCW. He never ever watched that show. Never watched AEW. Bro, the only thing he was concerned about was the WWE. Bro, I promise you, he has not watched one AEW show. I guarantee you, he doesn't do that, bro.
Wow. So, do you think if AEW eventually passes Raw in the ratings, that will open up his eye, or does he just not care?
I think that will open up his eye, bro, because then like that really now pride is involved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now you're kind of, stepping on his pride a little bit. And at that time I could see him, taking drastic measure.
I mean, but the people he's just letting go for supposed budget reasons just doesn't make sense. It's like he doesn't care about what the fans want to see. Last night, I had a friend at the show. They were quiet in the crowd. He said there were loud chants for "We want Wyatt all night long."
You could hear that on TV. You could hear that. I
They
heard.
were low, but he said they were much louder in person. because
Yeah.
he went back and he checked it out to see, and I'm like, dude, I think they lowered them. You could hear it at certain points. He said
Yeah.
it was consistent all night long.
Yeah.
So Vince doesn't get to control the narrative anymore. We're not in a Thunderdome.
But
We're
he
not
does,
hearing.
bro. He doesn't care. First of all, there's no one performer that's bigger than the WWE. That's first of all. That's his mentality. Second of all, bro, as long as you have Nick Khan signing these huge deals with third parties that think for some reason they're buying Austin and The Rock, they don't know they're buying Nikki Cross and Moonsar. As long as Nick Khan is signing those huge deals, bro, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter what he puts on TV, bro.
Wow, but you would think eventually the ratings keep dipping like they have been. They're not going to keep getting billion-dollar deals.
Yeah, they will. They will.
You think?
Bro, I'm telling you, if Fox and USA Network, after the contract was up, went their ways, there would be people standing in line ready to pay, WWE ridiculous money because, bro, they're not wrestling fans and they're not wrestling marks and they're buying WWE, and in their mind they think they're buying some. I mean, bro, look at Fox when they bought WWE. What was the rating they were looking for? Was a 3.5? Like who are they going to draw that with? I mean, you could have looked at that show then and said, bro, you out of, there's no way this show. But they were convinced that that's what that show, bro. You would have television stations waiting in line. You would have streaming services waiting in line. There's a sucker born every day, bro.
Man, it's sad because you keep, as a fan, you keep hoping that, okay, they're going to improve. They're going to improve. And I think it's been 2 years now since they came out and said, oh, we're going to start listening to you. And they haven't listened to a damn thing.
Right. Yep.
So I don't know what they're thinking. Like, I cannot possibly think he sits there watching Monday Night Raw and thinks this is a good show.
I say that every week, bro. Like, how can you guys, like, at the end of every show, like, are you patting each other on the back? Like, how can you really believe that was the best show you were capable of producing? I can't. I like I said, bro, I've tried to understand for a long time, but I just gave up on trying to figure it out.
And it's like, you're talking about the 3.5 rating. There's no superstars in this company that's a legit superstar like a Rock or an Austin or even a Cena. I mean, Roman is a heel now, but he's still not that presence of any of those other guys. And you try and look at the roster, and I don't see anybody there that, I don't know if it's just because they're not letting them do it. They're handcuffing them.
Rygar, what's his face?
Ryback?
Ryback, thank you. Bro, Ryback told the story of Triple H telling him there will never, ever be another John Cena. There will never, ever be anybody bigger than the company. Ryback tells that story, and I think Ryback's a straight-up guy, man. So that's a fact, and that's how they've done business, bro. That's why you see 50-50 booking. They don't want anybody to get over that is going to have a hand up on the company. Like, Cena calls his own shots now. Rock calls his own shots. Batista. They're not going to let that happen again. But, bro, the flaw in that ridiculous plan is, bro, when people watch TV, they want to see TV stars. They want to see stars on television. That's why you watch television, bro. I mean, look, when you watch Seinfeld, Bookman isn't on every single week. You want to see stars. So again, like, if I'm there and Triple H and Vince and whoever is laying this philosophy out to me, I'm immediately saying, that's great, bro. Nobody's going to be bigger than the company. You're no longer going to create stars. And because people watch television for stars, nobody's going to watch your show anymore. It's as clear as day. And that's exactly what has happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the ratings came out for this week's show, but they got a little boost with the live crowd and Cena being back for Raw. But I just think they're going to continue to tank because
Well, bro, you wait, because we are, I think I counted today, we are 6 weeks away from Monday Night Football. And when Monday Night Football
Oh,
starts, forget it. Like, if you're putting this show up against Monday Night Football, bro, forget it. Like, just forget it. Don't even put a show on.
have you kept up with the AEW Dynamite at all?
Not at all. No.
No,
I
because I
mean,
know.
you know, bro, I keep up with the industry. I just have no interest in watching their shows.
No, you're
Yeah.
not a fan of what they're doing over there, because it seems like more like a mixture of old school wrestling and better storytelling.
Bro, all I know is I watched AEW from October 19th, the very first show in 2019, all the way to January 2021. So that good 15 months. Bro, I didn't see any storytelling in 15 months, and I watched the show every single week. And that's why, after watching it for that long, I said, bro, like, this show is just not for me. I have no interest in this show. So
But
I don't know what they're doing now on a weekly basis. But like I said, bro, I watched it for 15 months and I never saw one single story.
wow. Okay. Like I said, I'm enjoying it more than Raw right now, but it's kind of hard not to enjoy anything
Yeah,
more than Raw right now.
hey, bro.
But I mean, it's given me the excitement back for wrestling that I haven't had in a long time. I feel like since they've went back in front of audiences again the last 5 weeks, they've been putting on some amazing shows. But I hear a lot of people comparing it to the end of the WCW run and the way they're doing things. Do you agree with that?
Bro, I do agree with that, because, bro, here's what you got to understand. And like, these are the things that nobody dissects and nobody talks about. Bro, you got to understand, when they started this AEW, like, it was very much like TNA. You got a group of guys that are totally committed to this product. And you are making them all the promises in the world. You're my guys, bro. I'm going to build the company on your back. I mean, if you go back to very, 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 very early on, you've got your Kazarians and you've got your, Christopher Daniels, and you got people like this, and you're telling them, bro, we're going to start this up with you. You're going to be the stars of the show, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great, bro. I'm on board. Well, then all of a sudden, bro, what you start doing is WWE lets this guy go, bring him in, that guy go. All of a sudden, you start bringing in all these guys that now start leapfrogging the guys that were originally there. And all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, man. You told us you were going to build a company on our back. You told us there were going to be no, big stars that, and all of a sudden, bro, that's how you start a little bit of chaos and a little bit of turbulence behind the scene. And they are not the same company that they launched in October. They are a completely different company now than what was originally sold to us. And, bro, the more people you add, the less and less work there is for people that are there. You're going to run into problems with that, bro, all the time.
So you don't think now they're adding a Rampage? And again, one of the things I like about AEW is they don't have the same.
Wasn't Rampage a video game where a big gorilla stomped down buildings with his fist? I remember playing Rampage as a kid.
Yes.
Did Tony Khan claim to come up with that name, Rampage? Because when I was a kid, I used to play that video game. So.
That's a very good question. I don't know, but like I said, I always felt for AEW, I guess you believe you can have too much talent. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely, man.
Because compared to back in the Attitude Era, to take down WCW, you needed your main stars on every week. You needed to see Stone Cold. You needed to see
let me tell you something right now. It's this simple. If you are not going to get somebody over if they're not on TV every week, they need to be on TV. Now, I'm not saying wrestling. They need to be represented. It could be a backstage vignette. It could be an interview. It could be a match. It could be, third man in the booth. There are so many ways to represent the talent on the show. But if you want to get somebody over, bro, that talent needs to be on the show every single week. That's how you get people over. You can't disappear for 2 weeks and come back and start over again and then have a little 3-week run. No, bro, they've got to be on every single week. That's how you get people over.
See, and that's one thing that AEW has been doing. Like MJF only had like a minute vignette one week, a couple of weeks ago. So they're focusing on certain people, and then other people are just getting little blurbs when they're not on in a match, but they're still showing them. And I found like they've really hit their groove, and the ratings, people seem to be agreeing because their ratings are going up. What would CM Punk, if I believe it's all but done, they're not going to go announcing what they've done for in a couple of weeks in Chicago, selling out 21,000. And if he's not there, that's the biggest mistake they're going to make. What would CM Punk mean to this company?
Bro, it would depend on how they book them. Bro, here's the thing. Listen, Tony Khan, Mr. Booker of the Year. And bro, I know you're an AEW fan, and I don't mean to rain on your parade.
Oh, dude, I'm listening to it. Go ahead.
This guy's Booker of the Year. I mean, bro, come on. Like, I've seen your shows, Tony. Like, stop with Booker of the Year and this, that, and the other thing. Bro, I said maybe about a month ago, I don't care if you bring in CM Punk. I don't care if you bring in Daniel Bryan. Bro, you're never going to surpass the WWE ratings. Okay? However, since we've been in front of a live crowd for the WWE, bro, this is a kiddie show. This is a kiddie show. So now all of a sudden, it's not what AEW is doing. WWE now, presenting a kiddie show, bro, they have offered a huge opening now. There is an opening now because that show is so bad and they are going so down the wrong road that now when you bring in a Daniel Bryan, when you bring in a CM Punk, if you book them correctly, now you have an opportunity to make your way into that hole. So I don't really think it's a matter of, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are, coming over. Bro, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are not going to bring casual fans to the product. They're not, bro. I'm a casual fan. These guys don't bring me to the product. I'm telling you. But if Raw continues to be as bad as it is, then yes, they do have an opportunity to draw a higher rating than Raw. I believe that, if done the right way.
Yeah, I mean, if done the right way, I've liked what they've done recently. In the beginning, see, you watch it for the first 15 months. It took me, I would DVR it and sit there and watch the whole show in about 5 minutes, like picking out what I liked. And up until it was probably only a few months ago, I actually started watching the whole show, where I felt it was catching my attention out to see what they've done. The rumors are Adam Page is out of not even appearing on All Out after supposedly he was going to be in the main event. And you got to wonder, is he a team player where he's okay with that? Or is that when, things start to go backstage and he's thinking,
bro, all these guys you're talking about, bro, Tom, bro, they're internet darlings. They're hardcore wrestling fan darlings. The success of the Attitude Era was we brought in non-wrestling fans, because you're always going to have your percentage of fans, bro, they're going to watch the show every week. That's what they do. They're sitting there waiting for this show. The fact of the matter is, those are the wrestling marks. They're not going anywhere. I mean, bro, you talk about the ratings going up. Bro, all I know is this show has been on since October 19 to July 21, and they've still not overcome the highest rating they did on that very first show. They did a 1.4 on that very first show, and they've not surpassed that since its inception. So no, bro, there are not ratings going up. The same people are watching this show week after week after week. And in my opinion, guys like CM Punk, guys like Daniel Bryan, like these are guys that the wrestling audience loves. These are not guys where non-wrestling fans, casual fans are going to tune in. I'm not going to watch AEW because CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are on. And I'm in the business. So think about that casual fan who used to watch wrestling and then gave up on it because they lost about 80% of their audience. I'm going to go back now because CM Punk, no, bro. I mean, they're not. But like I said, in that wrestling audience, could they surpass the WWE? Yes, they can. But this company has not shown me one time that they can bring casual fans and new viewers to the dance. And bro, that's how you get your numbers up. That's how you do it.
So is there anybody you see in the wrestling world right now that you think could bring into any company casual fans?
Yeah, Rock. Period.
Rock. But he's coming back. It's going to be for a night or two.
Right.
So
And bro, listen, AEW has made this mistake about 3 or 4 times. Bro, they'll do the big show. They did it with Tyson. They did it with Shaq. There was another one recently. I don't remember what it was. But they'll do the big show and promote the hell out of it, and they'll do a number. But the problem is, bro, that when the people tune in to see Tyson and Shaq, when they tune in to watch that show is not grabbing them. And every time they do something big, the very next week, the number is down because Tyson, the draw, drew new viewers. Oh my God, Shaq is wrestling tonight, drew new viewers. But as they sat there and watched the show, there was nothing to bring them back to that show once Tyson and Shaq weren't on it. Those are your casual fans.
So if a company came to you today, whether WWE or AEW,
bro, they wouldn't have enough money in the world. Tony Khan, bro, Tony Khan could give me a blank check. Vince, I don't want to have anything to do with it, bro. I am so satisfied and so happy with what I'm doing now, bro. I just launched an entire podcasting network, therealmnetwork.com. I'm going to have 30 shows on there that have nothing to do with wrestling. We're going to cover, all aspects of, life. Bro, they couldn't offer me all the money in the world. That business, bro, is so corrupt. And it is so cutthroat, and there are a lot of bad people. There are a lot of liars. There are a lot of con men. At 60 years old, I do not ever, ever, ever want to be a part of that world again.
So, okay, then hypothetical, how would you suggest these companies start fixing their product to get
bro,
the casual fans back in?
easy. This is what they can't do, bro. It's so easy. It's so easy, bro. WWE, WCW, the Marks, everybody involved in the wrestling business, they are all in the wrestling bubble. They are so disconnected with the world, and they are so disconnected with the reality of the world. And they are so ingrained in this wrestling bubble, and they've been doing it forever. And they've been doing it a certain way forever. If I hear Tony Khan, if I hear about his 8-year-old fantasy booking one more time, like, all right, Tony, I get it. And guess what, bro? You're booking the same way you did when you were 8 years old. The fact of the matter is, bro, the wrestling business needs to grow up. The wrestling business needs to mature. And how you do that, bro, is you use reality. Reality is the backbone of your show. What is really happening, what is really going on, instead of this fake, phony wrestling BS. That's why they lost the Marks, bro, because the world passed the wrestling business by. And because there's no reality, there's nothing real, bro. Bro, perfect case in point. You watched Raw last night, right?
Yeah.
What happened to Natalya last week?
Oh, she hurt her ankle. She
And
got
what?
surgery.
She had surgery. Oh, but we're not going to talk about that on the show.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you talk about that on the show? Like, what? Bro, they're missing the reality and they're living in this fake, phony. Bro, here's another case in point. You're Mr. AEW. Okay? Bro, do you remember John Stossel? And okay.
I remember watching that as a little kid.
Okay. You remember that, right, bro?
Oh,
and
yeah.
you remember how that went down. Okay?
Yep.
Fast forward to 2012. AEW has this guy in the ring now. What's his name? Lambert, the guy that was cutting the promo, the anti-AEW promo, the guy that represented that team.
Oh, right. Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Something Lambert.
Yeah.
Dave Lambert or something like this.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what his name is.
Yeah.
But now, bro, keep in the back of your mind what went down between David Schultz and John Stossel.
Yep.
So this guy's running his mouth. Here comes Lance Archer. Okay? Go back to Schultz and Stossel. Lance Archer would have said something to him in reality and slapped him as hard as he could across the face, and the guy would have went down.
Yep.
But not here. Here, Lance Archer's going to pick the guy up on his shoulders, and the guy's going to do the over-the-top sell, and then I'm going to place him on the top rope, and now he's going to be flailing around, and I'm going to hit him with my finishing move. Bro, I'm watching that, and now you're telling me by doing that, okay, bro, so you guys practice this all day long, because would that ever happen in reality? No. Bro, remember the incident with Roddy Piper and Vince Russo?
Yes.
That was real, bro. That was real. That's how it really went down. But putting a guy up and giving him your finishing move, bro, you have zero sense of reality. That would never happen in a million years. And that is very important, Tom, because as a casual fan representing casual fans, I'm watching this and like, okay, bro, you're trying to get this over as being real. You're trying to suspend my disbelief. But what I saw, they actually, they without a shadow of a doubt, rehearsed that all day long. So this is so blatantly fake to me. It's funny now, and I'm laughing. Bro, there is zero sense of reality. None.
I mean, yeah, you reminded me of this also back then in the 80s. Hogan was on, I think it was, Melzer. Yeah, he got them in the sleeper type hole, but he passed out and he cut his head open.
That's right. Exactly.
And we still believed everything was real back then because we just saw a guy cut his head open on national TV.
Absolutely, bro.
Now, let me ask you, have you followed, I'm sure you've heard about the GCW, Matt Cardona and Nick Gage
thing?
You
know that was 1,000% work, right?
Oh, I mean, I believe that, of course. But the thing that made it more intriguing is they played it more kayfabe than we've seen anything played.
Oh, listen, I give those guys, and I've said this, I only saw the footage, and I'm a big fan of Matt, huge fan. He's always been very, very, very good to me. And I saw the footage, and I saw immediately like how it was a work. But I also said, but bro, I applaud them for the idea. I applaud them for trying to do this and thinking outside of the box. Like, I've got no issue with that whatsoever. The problem was, bro, somebody recorded an angle on a phone and put that online. And from that footage, you saw where it was an absolute work. It wasn't their cameras shooting it that way. So the thing is, though, bro, when you're going to do something like that in 2021, you've got to know, bro, there's going to be 100 people recording this with our phone. If we have our people throwing bottles in the ring, like, it's going to get caught. Like, you've got to know that. But I applaud them, bro, for attempting to do that and doing that. I got no issue with that whatsoever.
No, like I said, I'm not even a deathmatch guy, but it caught my attention. It was more fun than anything I've seen in a long while because it was, like I said, they play like it was real. It was,
But
you know,
I'm not, bro. I'm not in any way, shape, or form condoning those death matches. I
yeah,
think those are absolutely. I'm just talking about the finish of the
yes,
match.
yeah,
I'm not a fan of that stuff. You saw
yeah.
what happened with the cutter and domino. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of that. That's a little, I mean, I love blood in wrestling. If I see a steel cage match, I want to see blood. Like, what's the purpose of a steel cage match if somebody's not going to be busted open? As a kid, you look forward to a steel cage match because somebody's going to be busted open.
right.
So, I mean, I'm fine with the blood, but that's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's crazy. But so what else? What was I gonna say? What else? You're being super critical. There's nothing you enjoy left about
There's
the wrestling
nothing.
product.
No, I wish. I mean, I loved Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
I thought Bray was great. I mean, I would watch Bray every week, and I would just say, God, I wish I could have worked with that guy. There are a lot of people I feel that way around about. Like, I'll watch them and I'll be like, God, with the right material, like these guys. I mean, like a guy like Elias. I love Elias. If Elias was in the Attitude Era, he would have been a major star. So there are talents on the roster that I like. It's not the talent, bro. They're going out there and they're doing what they're told and they're busting their backs every single week. It's not them. It's the material that they're given. That's the problem. I don't blame the talent at all. They're working hard, but it's the material they're being given.
I agree. I said the same thing. The roster's as talented as ever. It's super
Right.
talented roster, but
Right.
they've done nothing. And this is one thing I realized last night. They've done nothing to get us invested into anybody on these shows. Maybe Riddle a little bit, like a little bit, and it seems like that's fizzled off already. And the whole thing with Bray Wyatt, they have Goldberg come in and beat him when the guy was on an unbelievable run. I just wonder if Vince saw this guy's getting too big for the company. I need to stop this now.
Triple H told us that. I mean, he made that. They told us what they were going to do, and they're doing it. They're doing exactly what they said.
But I mean, okay, they're signing billion-dollar deals, but without fans, are they going to continue? Like, how much is a merch contract? How much merch is Bray Wyatt bringing into them if they could just release them for budget cuts like it's nothing?
It's pennies compared to the deals that Nick Khan's making for that company right now. Pennies, bro.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense because at the end of the day, we sit there thinking, okay, if Vince cared, Tony Khan, Nick Khan goes to Vince and says, okay, I want to cut Bray. Vince says no, they're never cutting him.
Right.
At the end of the day, it all ends with Vince.
It's Vince's company. Absolutely, bro. Without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely.
And it insults me to hear him come out and say we're not a wrestling company. Then what built you? What built you? What's going on every Monday night and every Friday night? As a fan who grew up with you and loved you, you're pushing me away faster than you ever could. I've never, like most wrestling fans, have taken a break at some point in their life. I've never stopped watching WWE, but I've never cared less about their product
And
as I do
bro,
right now.
there's a lot of people saying what you just said. A lot of people, bro. A lot. Like I said, man, the only reason I watch is because I get paid to watch. If Raw's the last thing I'm watching, the second I'm not making money off of that, I'm done.
Yeah. So you don't peek in at SmackDown at all?
Nope.
No, it's better than Raw, but again, we've said it's not hard. Anything could be better than Raw.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's just terrible. So talk a little bit about the Realm Network and what you're doing now. I know you mentioned it a little earlier, but a whole podcast network, 30 shows.
Yeah, bro. I have Russo's brand, and bro, russosbrand.com. God, bro, there's like 15, 20 wrestling shows out there with wrestlers on all the shows. They have their own shows. I mean, so many people, bro. I always forget, Stevie Richards, Disco Inferno, Stevie Ray of Harlem Heat, the beautiful people, Shane Douglas, Just Incredible, Dutch Mantel, Kevin Sullivan. There's so many people that ODB that represent the brand, and that's russosbrand.com. But Now on the realmnetwork.com, I bought the entire platform. It is mine. And now I'm going to be developing shows under the umbrellas of like freedom of speech, comedy, entertainment, sports, pop culture, retro. So now I'm going to be developing all these shows outside of wrestling, and you can get these shows, bro. You'll get like a big menu when you go to the realmnetwork.com, and you just kind of pick and choose the shows you want. They're all less than $1 a week, and you could just, pick and choose what you want to watch and what you enjoy.
Wow, that's awesome. Will it be available anywhere you podcast? You listen to podcasts and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, the realmnetwork.com is behind a paywall, bro. It's all behind a paywall because, one thing that was very, very, very important to me was the freedom of speech. And we are living in a time when people are getting canceled, people are getting silenced, demonetized, shadow banned, you name it. So I purposely did my network behind a paid wall. So nobody can touch us. We can say what we want. We can be honest. I don't know if you're a big Stern fan, bro, but like I've got Bob Levy and Shuley doing a comedy show. They can't do their type of comedy on YouTube, but they can come to the Realm Network and guys, do your stand up, be you. So that's why everything is behind the paid wall, bro. It's totally uncensored. We celebrate and support the freedom of speech. And if you do too, bro, I would just try us out at therealmnetwork.com.
Dude, it's a beautiful thing. I'm tired of the cancel culture.
Yep.
I want to just be able to say what I want to say, or you tweet something, all of a sudden you're getting muted because, that Twitter doesn't agree with what you're saying.
Yep.
It's sad to see that this is what the world has come down to at this day and age, that you can't even say something without people jumping on you, and how political everything has just become.
Yep.
But so bravo. I'm definitely going to be checking out the Realm Network.
Please do. Thanks. I appreciate that.
No, any other things you want to plug? Your Twitter, your Instagram, tell people where they can find you. And
yeah, like I said, bro, the realmnetwork.com has everything under it. And and if you just want wrestling, you go to the Realm Network and you go to russosbrand.com, you'll get all the wrestling shows. As a matter of fact, bro, right now on the realmnetwork.com, if you just go and register, okay, there's going to be free content on there. So if you go to register, you'll have access to free content where you don't even have to buy anything if you don't want. There's always going to be free content. I'm always on Twitter, bro, at the Vince Russo. And bro, I'm always interacting with the fans on Twitch at twitch.tv/Vince Russo live. All the time I'm on there.
Okay, guys. So check him out. It was an honor to have you, to get your opinion.
How many toys you got? Time for me to interview you now, Tom. Sit back.
All right, let's do it.
How many dolls you have behind you?
Behind me?
How many dolls do you own?
In the thousands.
And you're talking
just a small sample.
Okay, now are you still an active collector?
Yes.
And you started collecting when?
When the LJNs first came out, I bought them the first day they were released at a local shop on Staten Island where I grew up. And then I tapped out and got back into it maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I'm repurchased.
So Tom, how does it work? Like, bro, listen, I'm a vinyl collector. I've got 4,000 albums. So like, okay. I get it. I'm not, but I'm just curious. Like, so do you buy every action figure that comes out? Like, how do you decide then? How do you decide what you get and what you don't get?
I like to get the legends. I love the legends line. So if there's a legend coming out, I'll buy a legend. I like to get, first time in the line guys is somebody I really like. Lately, my WWE action figure buying has, dipped because I'm caring less and less about the product. But I'm buying the AEW now. It's just who I really like. For a while, I was trying to be a completist, and that's just ridiculous.
That's nuts, bro. So, but you're still going back and trying to fill some holes of stuff that you don't have, correct?
I'm trying to, I have all my LJN still from when I was a kid, But what I'm trying to do now is complete the Black Card series. I don't know if you know about that. It was the ones that were released after they were stopped being sold on the shelf here in America. They were sold in Canada, and you can order them through catalogs here. And when I went to my parents as a kid and I wanted to order them, like, no, that's too much money. So the biggest thing, the fun thing for me now is I went back and I got the Ultimate Warrior, LJN, and I want to get that whole line, Haku, but it's not cheap, so I'm doing it slowly. I'm very picky. I want them to be in good condition. So
now, bro, I usually am not a betting man.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that you are a guy that's not married, right?
I am married.
Oh, because I was going to say your wife would never, bro, answer me this. My wife is always busting my balls about my albums. Oh, like, oh, you don't need, no, I don't need anything. I want them. I collect them. Do I need to, does your wife drive you crazy, or is she on board with this?
Dude, she is amazing. She'll go to the store for me if I have to go to work or something.
You're lucky, bro.
I'm very, very lucky. She'll order me Christmas presents for figures, birthday presents, Valentine's Day.
You are so lucky. Okay, bro.
She enjoys it too. She has some figures in her craft room of the people she enjoys.
You're very, very lucky, bro, because you got a good wife there. Now, let me ask you this, bro. Tell me your 3 highest purchases and how much.
The LJN Warrior was $600.
Whoa!
Yeah. I got the red shirt LJN Hogan. That was about $400. And that by far that was the most I've ever spent on figures. I spent about $100 on a Macho Man Defining Moments from WrestleMania 3. No, from when he fought Warrior. I have that Defining Moments.
You got this. I only got 2 here, bro, because somebody bought them for me. You have this one?
Yes, I do have that one.
And I got this one, and I got this one, bro, because my friend Billy Body bought these for me.
Oh, China. Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah.
Go talk about the legends with a Rocco in there.
$600.
Yeah.
Now, are you buying this online or in person?
Online. I've found a reputable guy who sells LJNs, and he'll send me pictures of everything before I do it, and that's how I've gotten the LJNs and trying to complete that line.
So is there a holy grail out there right now that you want and don't have?
I want the Blackstrap Andre from LJN from the Black Card line.
How much is that?
Well, I mean, I don't want it sealed, because sealed it's right now on eBay for like $7,500, which I'm never. Even if I had the money, I'm not spending that much money on a wrestling figure. Yeah. But I think it's about 500 loose. So if I could find the right one, I'd probably jump on it. So we'll see.
That's interesting. Very, very interesting, bro. That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, you're right, bro. If you started getting into buying every figure forget it.
Yeah. What kind of albums do you collect? You got me curious now.
I got everything, bro. You name it. I mean, I've as a shoot, I've got 4,000 albums. It's my hobby. It's what I do. I love going thrifting and looking for albums and finding record stores everywhere. I've got everything, bro. You name it. I've got the gamut.
Drop by and visit the Turnbuckle Tavern, where every Thursday we give you the most in-depth analysis of all things AEW, as well as dive into Impact Wrestling, NWA, and all things indie.
If you like heated debates, compelling interviews, and a shot of nostalgia, you'll love the Turnbuckle Tavern, available on Apple and Spotify.
Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.